Bamisile. Archie Miller's third season at the helm of the Rams. This is the best of those seasons. He's been a winning coach really wherever he has gone. And was the A-10 Coach of the Year when he was at Dayton some years ago. And he's excited about this team and how they continue to grow. And obviously the growing part of it helps with Sebastian Thomas having such a good year. The all-time series is tied at 11 wins apiece. But VCU has won the last 4, while Rhode Island won the previous 4. Here we go. Bill Covington is heading towards center court. He's got the basketball ready to toss it up. Bamboye is ready to jump center against Javonte Brown, and the tip is controlled by VCU. See a lot of man-to-man defense for both teams here tonight. Bamboye hands it off to Russell. Russell to the elbow. Shoga thought about the jumper beyond the arc. Goes baseline to Clark. Bamisile for 3. It's good. He splashes it home. And that's a really good sign for him to hit the first shot on the road.
Yeah, and a terrific ball movement offensively. I mean, the ball got from one side of the floor to the other. You drive the baseline, collapse the defense. He's able to catch and shoot in rhythm.
Well, this is important, too. You saw Jamarcus Lawrence bring the ball up and get it set into the offensive end. They'd like to see him do that more. Green for 3, no good, and Russell pulls down the rebound. Here comes Shoga, leaves it for Clark. Clark gets some space and lays it in. They are fast up and down the floor.
They are not wasting any time at all, and VCU is so good at pitching the ball ahead.
These are 2 of the top scoring teams in the Atlantic 10. Rhode Island is number 1 in scoring. VCU is number 3. And that 3 bounces home for the Rams and Jaden House. Get a little touch at the end for that one.
They say those are the bounces you count on at home.
5-3, VCU on top. Bamboye gives it to Shoulder for 3. His 3 is no good. Brown with the easy rebound. Brown is so good. He's such a presence inside. It's 7 feet tall for the Rams. Here's Thomas. Thomas speeds into the paint. Thomas off balance shot, no good. Tipped around. Bamisile with the rebound. Leading the break. 3 in transition. Nope. Russell's going to give it up for Clark for 3. Boy, that had some nice touch on it from the get-go. And out of bounds, it'll be Rhode Island basketball.
We're seeing already VCU get out in transition. But here, off the ball movement, the baseline pass, the drive, defense is all in the paint, so Bamisile able to knock that down.
Ryan Odom told us today at shoot-around, he said for Bamisile, one of the big things is his leadership has improved from last year to this year. It also helps that he's about 20 pounds heavier this year. Off the bench last season for the Rams, a veteran of the Atlantic 10. Green into the paint. Green left-handed hook, no good. Bamboye pulls down the rebound.
And back to Bamisile, I mean, the older you get in your career, you realize that your body allows you to do anything that you want it to do if you take care of it, if you put time and effort and attention into it, just like you would spend time shooting free throws. You have to spend time recovering. So it's good to see that he put on some weight and possibly him, you know, getting ready for the next level as well.
Shoga takes the inbound. Shot clock is at 20. Shoga into the paint. Trying to get some space. Leaves it for Clark. Ball deflected around. Not the greatest of passes. But here come the Rams of Rhode Island. Lawrence kicks it to House to the corner for Thomas. Gets his feet set. Left open for 3. You don't want to do that. And he gives Rhode Island the lead by 1.
Yeah, that had to be a defensive miscommunication. Cannot leave him open, especially in the corner. I mean, he specializes in corner 3s.
Over 1,200 points now. He came in with 1198. Bamboye is fouled inside.
And just off the skip, one more. I mean, he was wide open. He had time to check the wind, tie a shoelace, and knock it down.
8 straight games with 20 points or more for Sebastian Thomas. Rhode Island 9 for 10 from beyond the arc in the first half in that victory against Davidson. But it was his runner from the middle of the floor off the glass that won it from 3.
Yeah, they were lights out in their last game versus Davidson. Their offense was really flowing.
Here's Bamisile hopping like a bunny in the paint, can't get it to go. And the rebound pulled down by Green. Green running length of the floor. I should say that's House running the length of the floor. He lays it in.
He's terrific in transition. I've heard someone else refer to him as a pit bull in terms of how he gets downhill and uses his aggressiveness.
Yeah, a lot of times you would think he might give this one up, but he noticed that there was a little bit of daylight.
Just a little bit. A little hesitation, 2 steps, draws the contact and finishes. Tough move.
And then on the opposite end, Russell could not convert, but he is fouled. Philip Russell, transfer from St. Louis. He was a walk-on at St. Louis. And then after not being offered a scholarship, he went to Southeast Missouri State. Then UT Arlington, was the 6th man of the year for UT Arlington in their conference. And he's an 81% free throw shooter, and he converts the first one. Free throw shooting wise, VCU is within the top 100 in college basketball. Now the second shot to make it a 1-point game. It's good. So 8-7 with 16:42 to play here in the first half. Now this is not a surprise at all that they're picking up full court. This is what they'll do most of the game.
Yeah, I mean, VCU, they want to wear you down with their defense. They want to press. They want you to feel uncomfortable. And they want you to start your offense around the 22nd on the shot clock.
Well, 22 is where Sebastian Thomas, nice through the defense, sweeps it, doesn't get it to go. And the rebound by Russell. He's got a 5-on-4 opportunity, but nope, Thomas is able to recover. Up top for Russell. He's open for 3. It's good.
Cannot forget about the trail spot. A good job by Shulga to get deep in the paint and then hit the trail.
There's a foul away from the basket. Shulga, that's his first.
And they're just pushing the tempo, getting deep in the paint. You see all the defenders for Rhode Island are in the paint. It allows Russell to catch and shoot.
Almost looked like he was surprised that nobody came out on him defensively.
Like, you're not going to guard me? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to knock it down.
Off the inbounds. Estevez in the game for the first time for Rhode Island. The sophomore from Harlem. And now Thomas, such a great story for Rhode Island. Skips it to the corner. He was working on that at shoot-around today. The only problem is his teammate Estevez was on the sideline. Asked if he had any interest in coming back. And essentially Archie Miller said, we brought him back and we basically gave him the keys to the program, and it's paid off for him.
It really has, and that's what it looks like. It looks like he's comfortable on the floor. He's the leader. He has the triple green light to make anything happen, whether it's scoring the basketball or facilitating for his teammates. But, you know, you also want an experienced point guard to come back, and so I think it was a great get for them to get Thomas back in this program. And if he happened to like campus and like the environment
Absolutely.
here, it's easier to get him back because he's experienced everything.
Yeah, they said he came back with so much more confidence. They said he was an entirely different person. Although Austin Carroll did tell us at shoot-around today, he said, you know, I did think he was going to be a good player when he was here at Rhode Island.
Just took a little bit of time. I tell you what, though, VCU is doing a great job of doubling the basketball. Yep. They have doubled Green, also Thomas. Oh! But then the find from House, and Green knocks it down.
Yeah, House has 5 points, and now he has that assist. It's the first bucket for Green. And it gives Rhode Island a 1-point lead. Furman in the game for the first time for VCU. Zeb Jackson off the screen, picked up top by Brown. Furman away from the basket. That's an interesting matchup size-wise. Shot clock is at 7. Jackson, nice crossover. Shot clock at 5. Pull up 3. It's good.
Sized him up and knocked that down. There's nothing you could do about that. They just put a hand up. That's just better offense from Zeb Jackson.
He feels good against this Rhode Island team. It was his 17-footer as time expired that gave VCU a win over Rhode Island earlier in his career. Whistle blows, a legal screen called against Green. And VCU with a 2-point lead. We got the basketball. Second foul on Green, so he's going to have to check out.
Yeah, and that hurts Rhode Island for sure. I mean, what he does on both sides of the basketball, but here to the right side of your screen, he's setting the screen, and he's moving as he's setting the screen. At one point, he did not stop, and so that's a great call by the refs.
When you were a troublemaker on the court, if you picked up 2 fouls, did your coaches take you out right away?
Yeah, they had to. Yeah. I think so, too.
Shulga for 3 from the wing, no good. And Brown lost that one out of bounds, but they said it was last touch by VCU. I guess Furman got a hand on it. Traore's in for Rhode Island. He's number 55.
You know, it's worth mentioning, too, that VCU's game plan is to keep the pressure on Sebastian Thomas. And so it's going to be really important for other guards like Cam Estevez or Jaden House to make sure that they can handle the pressure and take the load off of Thomas, at least for the first half.
Yeah, Ryan Odom said, we're going to cover him one-on-one. He said, but we are probably going to have 2 guys on him on occasion. Here it's one-on-one with Zeb Jackson. They like that matchup, Jackson on him.
Oh, Shoga, he is so good at getting steals and being disruptive.
And Bell trying to finish, cannot, but Furman with the rebound, but he fell to the floor and he traveled. Yeah, the Shoga defensive part of it is probably the part of his game that's improved so much, and it leads to this.
I mean, it makes all the difference in the world when your guards care about playing both sides of the basketball. As Furman went down holding his leg, and now he is checking out, hobbling off the court.
He's got a wrap on that right leg, but it's more his left leg that looks like it's bothering him.
Yeah. Certainly hope he's okay, because they'll need some size to compete inside with Rhode Island.
David Fuchs checks in for the first time for Rhode Island, one of their more athletic players. He's down low, number 24.
Yeah, he is a huge energy player off the bench.
House going to the basket, kicks it to the corner. Estevez for 3, and he's fouled. He's going to get 3 shots. The shot was short, but he'll go to the free throw line. That'll be the first on Zeb Jackson. I want to point out, too, that Fuchs in shoot-around today was the only player on the floor before it all began wearing a winter coat. It is about 10 degrees outside as Estevez 79% from the free throw line, missed the first. And here's that foul in the corner.
And a bit uncharacteristic from VCU, fouling a jump shooter. But Jackson just couldn't slow down, I guess, in time off of that closeout.
That was one of the keys for Ryan Odom, was limiting the fouls. Second free throw is good.
And especially, Tom, when you play such aggressive defense, but you know you need players to stay in the game. When you press, you're more susceptible to committing fouls.
And now the third shot to try to tie this game up at 13. And it's in and out, so 1 of 3 from the free throw line. VCU will go on the offense. Russell and Jackson both in the backcourt. Bell got some separation to get that pass. They get it down to Bamisile, backing his way in. They do like to do that with him. Russell leaves it for Bell. Bell down low. And Boye is able to finish right in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, using that size and athleticism, that's 6'10".
They're going to allow Fuchs to take that shot. Now Jackson called for another foul.
And great ball movement offensively from VCU. Inside, outside, they hit the baseline guy, and then nice hop, step, and finish.
They correct that too. They changed it. It's Michael Bell who was called for that foul. The bounce goes to Estevez. Fuchs up top for Thomas. Thomas off the screen. Thomas hesitating, tries to dish it down low. And now he's fouled at the free throw line. That'll be Zeb Jackson's second.
A couple of players already with 2 personal fouls before the 10-minute mark. So VCU may go into their bench a little bit more in this first half.
Yeah, they bring in Brandon Jennings, the freshman from Richmond. And Shoga checks back in. Here comes Clark. He'll check in for Bell. And Thomas will trigger the inbound. Gets it in Estevez. Fuchs. They were waiting for Thomas again. And Thomas into the paint. Tried to bank it home. No good. Bamisile with the rebound. Leading the break. 1 on 3. Bamisile throws it up. How did that go in?
I have no idea, partner, because it looked like he was out of control, falling down, but still somehow had a soft finish.
And that ball deflected away. They tried the high-low. Good hands inside from Bamboye. He'll get it back underneath. And as he's going out of bounds, he just throws it up for grabs.
And someone has to cut to the basket when that happens. Everyone just stood around the three-point line, but right back at it. VCU gets it back.
And Bamisile slams it home. And this is kind of the concern when you play VCU. They go on these spurts where they can score points in bunches.
Especially if you commit live ball turnovers. At least throw the ball out of bounds so you can reset your defense. Right. But if you commit a live ball turnover, they are off to the races.
This is the largest lead of the first half for VCU. House going up, has it blocked away. Back into the hands of the Rams of Rhode Island. From the corner, House throws up an air ball. Take it down by Clark to Jennings. Again, speeding toward the basket. Jennings down to the baseline. Backing his way toward Thomas. Outside for Shoga. Shoga step back three-pointer. High arcing shot, no good. Thomas with the rebound. Maybe one more extra pass to kind of reset things.
I don't think it was the greatest shot.
House goes inside for Fuchs. Fuchs faces up, skips it to the corner. Estevez for three, no good. It was short and tipped it to the hands of Bamisile. Both coaches also talked about how important rebounding is because the Rams get so many of their own. I'm also surprised that there are only 4 teams in Division I that have the mascot.
Well, I think it's funny that 3 of them are in the A-10 alone.
Well, here so far, the action's been good. VCU is on a 14-4 run. They lead at 19-12. They're shooting the ball obviously so much better, 54% from the floor so far.
Yeah, 8 points in the paint already, so they're getting high percentage looks.
Off the inbounds. VCU with the basketball. Bamisile almost lost control, throws it up again. This time out of control, he had too much on it. The rebound for Rhode Island. Green leads the break. Green will hand it off to Jabunji. Jabunji back to Thomas. Down low to Brown. Brown up top to Jabunji, swings it to the corner. Bounce pass down low to Green. Green trying to back his way in. Green with that left hand, it's so strong, and he just missed it. Now Shoga leading the break up top. Jennings right through the defense. Jennings can't finish with his left hands.
Tell you what, that was a fearless take by Jennings going up against Brown, who's 7 foot.
Rhode Island now scoreless over the last 3 minutes until now. And Sebastian Thomas, that's where his speed comes in.
I mean, when you can attack when VCU's defense isn't set, I believe every time it's going to be in the positive. When their defense is set, it's stingy, they close up space very quickly, they contest every shot.
Averaging almost 19 points a game. He's first in assists, Sebastian Thomas is. Jennings, he may have controlled that dribble enough. Bamisile for 3, and it's good. It's his second three-pointer of the half.
And Bamisile does a great job of moving without the basketball. He started that play in the corner and then lifted to the wing to make himself available for the 3.
Yeah, already 10 points for Joe Bamisile. He entered this ball game averaging 16 plus per game, 8th in the A-10. Thomas gives it off. Lawrence will take the 3, and the answer no good, but Thomas with the rebound. Thomas has it stripped away. He wanted the foul called. Here comes Clark in transition. Clark cups it and lays it in.
That's a tough move from Clark. The one-hand Euro ripped it right over the defender.
And they've stretched the lead to 10, largest of the first half. Clark is averaging over 15 points per game in the last 2. Ball is deflected away, so here comes the defense for VCU.
Yeah, and if you're Rhode Island, you have to realize that they are doubling the post and at least 2 guards on every possession. So as soon as the double happens, you got to kick it out and play quickly.
Well, 2 of the more elegant scorers in the Atlantic 10 just went back-to-back.
Such a nice take by Thomas, uses the other side of the basket to finish, and then Bamisile just moving out of that corner, catch and shoot in rhythm.
Yeah, there's a quickness that the 2 of them have with their shot, which I think is very noticeable.
Well, especially when you're guarded and you're the focal point on the opposite team's scout, you know you have to get your shots up quickly. You won't have much daylight.
Lawrence just kicked this one out of bounds. Yeah, it was deflected and then hit off his leg and went out of bounds. So VCU with the ball. Clark, the transfer from LaSalle, among other places. Clemson, he was part of the Elite 18 for Clemson. Shoga, shot clock at 7. Shoga, tough shot. Rebound, though, by Bamboye, and he lays it in. That was an athletic move.
Yeah, Bamboye has been extremely active. Oh, my gosh, another steal from VCU.
And Russell wanted to lift the lid off the place with that three-point attempt. It was a little too strong.
Yeah, a bit too opportunistic there. You might want to hold that one and get a better shot in rhythm. Really make them pay for turning the basketball over.
Under 8 minutes to play in the first half. Lawrence. Traveling violation, yep. Jaden House called for that turnover. Not so far. The largest lead is this one here. Bamisile will take a breather for now. Bamisile, who began his career in the Atlantic 10 at GW, where he averaged over 16 points per game. That was after he played at Virginia Tech, then went on to Oklahoma. It didn't work out there. And then 2 years, this is the second year at VCU, and it seems like the Atlantic 10 is a really good fit for him.
I think he fits the style well. He seems comfortable and thriving, and obviously is a main contributor on his team.
Rams with the basketball. The ball knocked away by Sebastian Thomas for Rhode Island.
That was beautifully read by Thomas, getting in the passing lane as Russell was looking to flare.
Shot clock at 22. Plenty of time left for VCU. Phillips in the game for the first time. Shoga looks for the screen. Bamboye gave it to him. Shoga bumped around. Shoga into the paint, kicks it to the left wing, and the three is no good. Got a rebound by Sebastian Thomas. Thomas looking in. Brown's got a mismatch down low. Instead, it's Green who has it blocked away by Bell. Shoga picks it up, goes back to Bell. The decision for Bell, gets it off to the corner. Billups for 3, and this time he gets it to go. And a technical foul called on Fats Billups. He did say something, or at least look at the Rhode Island bench.
He did. He definitely did. But VCU right now going on a run, up 15, and they have really stretched out in the last couple of minutes. Billups here, shot fake, little step back to the corner, knocks it down, and then immediately turns, looks at the bench.
So Green will shoot the technical, makes the first one. He will get one more. Ryan Odom asking the official for an explanation on it. We can see the head turn. We couldn't tell whether there was anything said. The second technical, no good.
Or if there was something said to him.
Or something said to him.
I would be lying if I said I wasn't on the bench once or twice and somebody shot in front of me and I'm like, miss it.
You're poking the bear, huh?
Just anything I can do to help my team, Tom.
Well, again, it's a 14-point lead for VCU. Thomas working against Shoga, one-on-one. Brown hands it off to Lawrence. Bell is out on Thomas. Lawrence tries to slip it in. He turns it over again. That's 10 turnovers now for Rhode Island.
And the spacing is an issue right now for Rhode Island. It seems like every time someone drives in the paint, there's about 3 other players there. So VCU able to defend easily and get tips and deflections and ultimately steals.
Well, VCU has always been, doesn't matter who's coaching, it always been an excellent defensive team. But here are some of the numbers that make them stand out. The opponent's points per game is huge at 14th in college basketball.
Yeah, I mean, again, just stingy with their defense. Opponents shooting less than 40% from the field as well.
Yeah, 5 of 16 tonight, so they're even better tonight than they are overall. Russell has it knocked away for a moment to the corner. Billups for 3 again. This one too strong. A nice seal by Brown who allowed Fuchs to get the rebound. Sebastian Thomas going right to the rim, leaves it down low for Brown. Brown gets his bearings, trying to get some space. And he's fouled as the ball is tied up between rim and backboard. Just hanging.
Yeah, I saw this because it happened right in front of us, but the little piss off from Thomas, refs missed it. But Russell certainly turned to the refs afterwards and just checked in about it. Like,
just
hey,
checked in.
Just want you to know that happened.
Well, Brown goes to the free throw line. He does not have the greatest of shots, 62%.
I mean, he also hasn't scored yet this game, and so you talk about Rhode Island's offense struggling a little bit. They need to find some points in the paint, and they need to play more north-south. I'm seeing a lot of east-west, the ball in the perimeter, and guards not really finding an advantage. This team is best when they can get a piece of the paint, create an advantage, and then look to score quickly.
It's already 5 misses, 2 for the free throw line, so they've got to convert their free throws. Lead is 14, Russell. Top for Shoulder, trying with a quick first step. Shoulder going up, has it blocked away by Brown, and Brown's called for the foul. And that'll send Max Shoulga, a 72% free throw shooter this year, down from last year, to the free throw line.
And Shoulga does a great job of probing here, getting into the paint, draws the contact just a little bit, probably more on the body than it was up top on the shot.
71% from the free throw line this year. And he converts. Shoulga was with Ryan Odom when he was at Utah State. And he and Sean Barstow both transferred to VCU. He brought 4 languages with him. He was a first-team All-A-10 selection last year. He's a preseason first-team selection this year.
Definitely an impressive young man. 4 languages? That's no joke. I speak 2, Tom. English and sarcasm.
Yeah, but you are fluent in both. They go to the corner, ball is knocked out of bounds. With 15 on the shot clock, it remains Rhode Island basketball. Ryan Odom said last year that for Barstow and Shoulga, they were both in the transfer portal when he took the VCU job. He didn't actively recruit them, but when he saw that they were in the portal, he obviously gave them great opportunity, and they certainly helped the team last year. They go down low. Brown can't corral it. It was knocked away. Yeah, he's got good defense. Bamisile running the floor, can't finish, but Shoulga's there to clean it up. And a timeout called by Rhode Island.
And that is how you attack the offensive glass. VCU here just on the run in the first half.
Along with Ice Young, I'm Tom McCarthy. Rhode Island, 12 turnovers a game is what they average. They've already turned it over 12 times in this first half.
Yeah, it's certainly been a frustrating first half offensively for Rhode Island. Thomas hasn't been able to get into the paint and score like he normally does. They haven't gotten a ton of great inside looks, and they haven't scored in transition. And again, that is because VCU's defense is just so stifling. They put so much pressure on the basketball, and they've been very great at getting back in transition defense.
Foul is going to be called on, I think it's Philip Russell for VCU. Now, he was off the ball holding Sebastian Thomas, so that's going to send Thomas to the line.
Yeah, these are the type of fouls that you want to avoid if you're VCU. Again, it's great to be a high-pressure defense, but you also need to have discipline to defend without fouling.
Thomas converts the free throw, 70% from the free throw line. Second in the Atlantic 10 in scoring to Reed Bailey. Last 3 games, he's played 123 of a possible 125 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that included an overtime game. That is a lot of miles, and especially at the point guard position. Not saying everybody doesn't run, but I think there's more responsibility we can agree to that the point guard has.
Offensive rebound for VCU. And they try to answer with a 3. No good. They get another offensive rebound. And Russell on the baseline is fouled by David Green. Oh, no, he went out of bounds. It hit off his foot. It'll be Rhode Island basketball.
And we've talked about that battle on the boards, and Rhode Island doing more of a tipping it out versus corralling the basketball. That was a lot of contact as well.
Yeah, VCU is #1 in the Atlantic 10 in offensive rebounding, 13.5 per game. And that's part of what Ryan Odom's talked about, the improvements of his team once they got into conference play.
Yeah, an offensive rebounding can really wear down the opponent, especially when you're talking about playing defense for 30, 40 seconds at a time.
Green with the offensive rebound of the putback from the baseline.
What a beautiful left-hand floater that was from Green.
He's got 6. Yeah, Jabunji's shot was good. It looked like it was going down. It just hit off the rim. Now Russell covered by Thomas up top. Now Shoga. 4.5 to play. Russell to the corner. Clark, quick first step against Green. Pass up top, deflected. Here comes Rhode Island. Sebastian Thomas into the offensive end. Off the glass. Count the bucket. What a circus shot.
Nifty. Sebastian Thomas in transition, over the top, the leaner, and the finish. That is tough. What an awesome move, and then found the angle to get it up and finish. Very nifty.
That's the lead to 12. There we go. Now we've updated those minutes. It's 138 of 140.
That means he's tired. There's no other way around that. That's a lot of minutes.
He's to the free throw line where he's trying to reach double figures again. Remember we said he has 8 straight games with 20 points or more. 10 20-point games in his career.
This is a player, too, that's also second in the A-10 in steals. So it's not just him playing 40 minutes and scoring the basketball. He also is one of their best defenders.
No doubt. At 13 of his 22 in the second half against Davidson, including the game winner. And now another turnover. Rhode Island forces another turnover. Shoga kicked it.
Yeah, and that was Thomas again, just getting in the driving gap. Oh, nice move. That is his move. That between the legs, scoring at the logo. And VCU forced to take a timeout because Thomas is making a comeback.
The team has found its way back into this game thanks to a 9-0 run, and they've leaned on the guy who has the keys to the program, and that's Sebastian Thomas.
You have to. You know, he's their engine. They go as he goes, especially when he's looking to score in transition, picking up the pace a little bit. I mean, that's what I noticed in the last minute and a half they went on that run, was the pace picked up a little bit for URI. I think they were playing too much in the half court.
Yeah, and it got crowded in the middle, too, which I think was important for them defensively. Let's see if VCU can answer. VCU still has a 9-point lead, 33-24. Bamisile, double digits already. Gets the bounce off the front of the rim and the backboard.
And a 2-dribble pull-up is so hard to guard, and Bamisile really elevates when he shoots his jump shot.
Yeah, you can see his athleticism. On the opposite end, Rhode Island converts as House goes to the rim. But he's fouled by Max Shoga, so he'll go to the free throw line.
This is the north-south action I was talking about. Come off the screen and look to get downhill, create an advantage. On the other side, Bamisile, the pull-up, 2 dribbles, elevates, gets the nice roll, but that is tough to guard.
Well, now House will go to the line. Shoga will check out with 2 fouls. Zeb Jackson checks in for VCU. House trying to make this an 8-point game. And he does. 35-27. He has 8. Jackson and Clark playing catch up top, little weave action. And there's a steal. House into the open floor. House gets control, spins off the glass, the little kiss. 35-29. What a run this has been for Rhode Island as we close out the half.
And that's a momentum play as well. Just getting in the passing lanes and getting an easy 2. You want to get defense to fuel your offense.
Yeah, because it gets the crowd into it as well. Clark up top. Clark to the free throw line. Leaves it for Bamisile. Bamisile for 3. No good. But the rebound by Jennings for VCU. Up top for Jackson. No look pass to Bamisile. Bounces his way in. Off the glass. No good. Loose ball picked up by Fuchs. He may have been pulled by Clark. Ball is pinballing around. And Rhode Island comes out of the pile with it. Thomas for 3. Yes! 14-2 run over the last 2:53, and a foul quiets things for a moment.
The Rhode Island Rams are 5 of 5 on their last field goals. It started here with the steal and the defense from House, getting an easy 2, and then in transition, Thomas doesn't need much space or time. The dagger.
Well, he has 12. 2:05 to play. Jackson will inbound. That boy set the screen. Bamisile into the paint. Jackson thought about a three. Jackson into the paint. Left-handed shooter. No good. Maybe misdirected by Fuchs. 35-32. They can tie it. Instead, they'll pull within one. That'll be goaltending against Bamboye.
Again, that is Jaden House getting downhill. Defense isn't set yet. Gives a little hesitation and makes his way to the basket. Rewarded with the goaltending.
This is a 19-2 run for Rhode Island.
And they've done it quickly.
They have.
You see now why they're the best scoring team in the A-10, because they can score in bunches quickly. It just took them a little while in the first half to start clicking.
Foul is called on Fuchs. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Brent Stover, Roy Hibbert, Gary Parrish, and John Rothstein will get you caught up with all Tuesday's action in college basketball. Plus, we'll give you first half stats and highlights. Again, that's coming up on AT&T at the half. Zeb Jackson to the free throw line. Jackson, 87%. Front into the 1-and-1 is good. Oh, count the bucket. They'll say Fuchs touched it. They can review it to make sure. Yeah, they're going to take a look to make sure it was Fuchs that touched it, not Bamboye. Nope, they've conferred. I think Archie Miller's thinking that they should look at it to make sure who touched it. And he made one, missed one. Fuchs with the rebound. 2-point lead for VCU. 1:20 and counting to play here in the first half. It's a 19-3 run for Rhode Island. Rhode Island's made its last 7 field goals. Thomas, 3 again. Thomas in and out. And Clark with the rebound. How about the move to get open, too?
Well, I was going to say, while he's got the freshman and Brandon Jennings guarding him, I might try to make him pay, too, and test the freshman's defense.
Officials just letting everybody play down on the opposite end, and Zeb Jackson throws it out of bounds. It was touched last by Fuchs. Archie Miller and the coaching staff can't believe it. I think they just overturned it. I was surprised they didn't call a foul on what was going on the sidelines.
I agree. I think there's been a lot of contact.
Foul is called on Lawrence. That's his second personal foul. So Jaden House is going to check back in. And it's going to send Bamisile to the free throw line. Bamisile with 12 points so far. Running to the 1-and-1 is good. He'll get a second shot now. This half was going swimmingly well for VCU, and then all of a sudden Rhode Island found some life defensively, and it led to their offense.
And that really helped them pick up the pace, just getting a couple of steals.
House will try to bring it up the floor, double teamed at midcourt. Sebastian Thomas did not put his feet down on his offensive end when the ball left the hands of House. 13 turnovers for Rhode Island.
The pressure defense will speed you up. And honestly, I thought House should have passed the ball up the sideline. There was a player in the left corner going up the sideline that I thought was a better look than maybe giving it back to Thomas.
40 seconds to play. Jackson to the free throw line. Bamisile thought about it, now thinks twice, and it's no good. Fuchs with the rebound. They're going to go quick here, or they're going to let some time run off?
I think you're going to go quick.
Oh, now they're going to be.
Not,
Now Archie Miller pulls it back out. 4-second difference, shot clock, game clock.
And this is all about momentum right here. Who can take the momentum going into the half?
Double team up top. Thomas trying to get there. Swings it off the fingertips of Traore. He throws it up. It's an air ball out of bounds, and it's going to give VCU the basketball with 4.9 to play. That's not what they wanted.
Yeah, I didn't love that play. And even though Thomas can make that skip pass all the way across the court, there also should be someone cutting down the lane. I mean, he had 3 players guarding him. That means at least 2 are open.
Right.
So someone should be cutting down the lane and also waiting on the opposite wing.
Here comes Jackson to midcourt. He's got plenty of time. Jackson into the paint. Jackson to the basket. And a two-handed jam. You talk about momentum swings. And that ends the first half with a resounding slam dunk for VCU. The officials are going to look at it to make sure that the slam happened before the clock wound down and there's no time left.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That is good.
Man, what a great take.
He had one thing on his mind.
I'm going to go score.
Now that is the end of the first half. The score, VCU on top of Rhode Island's 25 combined points as far as fast breaks go. 17 for VCU, 8 for Rhode Island. VCU started the game on a 33-15 run. Rhode Island went on a 19-2 run. And then VCU scored the last 5 points of the first half using the free throw line. And free throws have been somewhat of an issue for Rhode Island, 6 of 11. Meanwhile, VCU at 7 for 8. All right, so Ryan Odom's team has the lead as we get set to begin the second half. VCU is 13-2 when they lead at the half. And a little different lineup for Rhode Island as we begin this second half. And the guy inbounding the basketball just in front of us, Jabunji, is going to make the start to begin the second half. Here we go. Second half of action. These two teams, they've been on runs the last few years against each other, but 11-11 is the series record. Thomas covered up top by Russell. House thought about the 3, goes down low to Green, who had 2 fouls midway through the first half. Shot clock is under 10. Jabunji goes inside. Brown backing his way in. Shot clock is at 3, and he's fouled. He's lucky he was fouled too, because I don't know if he realized where the shot clock was.
Or even if he saw Bamisile next to him digging in. I mean, that very easily could have been a steal as well.
Bamisile's first foul of the half. Fresh 20 for Rhode Island. Green open for 3, short. And the ball going out of bounds untouched to the VCU basketball.
I don't think he was fully on balance as he shot that. He was kind of flaring and going backwards, so his body was taking him backwards, and the shot fell short.
Shoka had 2 fouls. He missed the last few minutes of that first half. He's 1 for 6 from the floor. Bamisile off the screen. Bamisile picked up by the larger player. Tried the roll pass down low. With 13 on the shot clock. See the foul story. We had some fouls distributed in the first half. Shoga takes the pass off the inbounds. Bamisile assessing. Bamisile 5 on the shot clock. Kicks it to the corner. Russell got some separation on the fake shot, and it's no good off the side of the rim. Sebastian Thomas. Abunji into the open field. Has it swatted away by Shoga.
And he is so good at that. Just keeps his eye on the ball as the as offense is going up. Watch him just keep his eyes on the ball. Little swipe down and then gets out the way so he makes sure he doesn't commit the foul with his body either. Yeah,
Jabunji was in the open floor. The ball just didn't have a whole lot on it. The bounce goes to House. Brown leaves it for Thomas. House double team, fade away, blocked away. And Boye with the block. He'll get the pass of the receiving end, and he's fouled going up by Brown. Second foul on Brown.
And that's textbook VCU right there, just off of their great defense, transitioning up the floor. Great pass ahead by Clark. As Bamboya is fouled. And again, he has just been so active in this game, offensively and defensively. Does a little bit of everything.
Under 70% from the free throw line. Missed the first. Now we'll get a second shot to try to make this a 7-point game. And he does not convert. And the rebound is pulled down by House. House for three. It's good. Left open. Little daylight converts. It's a 3-point game. On the other end, Clark is fouled on the baseline. I think House was surprised he was open on this.
Maybe, but just coming off the screen, he stepped right into it in rhythm. And he can knock those down. So if you're VCU, you got to at least show him a hand. Him and Thomas have combined for 30. Rest of the team, 7.
That foul, by the way, was on Green for Rhode Island. That's his 3rd foul.
Yeah, and if I'm VCU next possession, this possession, I'm attacking him. I'm making sure to put him in actions and see if he can defend without fouling.
Bamisile over the top of his defender, gets the bounce off the front of the rim. You know, that wasn't bad defense by Jabunji.
But better offense by Joe Bamisile. And he's got such good touch. Like him and Thomas, they both have great touch when they get in that logo area. When they hit that A10 area, they specialize in pull-ups or floaters. 16
points. Pass is cut off by Russell, and then Clark can't corral it. Rhode Island gets it back. Green for 3. No good. And it's out of bounds. I think Green thought he may have been hit on that.
I don't know, but I thought it was terrific defense by Russell. I thought he did a great job of reading that play, getting right around Thomas after the pitch back and closing out. I mean, just the extra effort. It's 2-on-1, but he was able to be a factor.
Russell's averaging just under 16 points per game in Atlantic 10 play. He gets it in the corner, fires the 3, no good. And Bamisile lost the rebound. Green will run it down. Again, Green playing with 3 fouls for Rhode Island. 3 minutes into the second half. Thomas to the corner. Jabunji for 3, no good. And Brown's over the top of Bamboya.
And Brown trying to get the offensive rebound. I mean, yeah, he's all over his arm. That is a foul.
He's such a big dude. 7 feet tall, 255 pounds. Five-point lead for VCU. Jackson had the slam at the end of the first half. Jackson into the paint, kept his pivot foot. Up top to Shulga. Shulga to the corner. Russell, runner is no good. Ball tipped around. And it's saved by Rhode Island. Jabunji was able to keep his feet in bounds. He'll swing it to the corner for Green. Green double team. Jabunji in the paint. Lost it. Up off the glass. No good. Ball swatted around. Fuchs had it for a moment. And Clark comes out of the pile with it. Running the floor. Clark going right to the basket. Goes to the corner for Jackson for 3. No good. We had a little lack of offense in the second half.
Well, I tell you what, it's a good job by URI to stay on the glass. They haven't allowed VCU to get offensive rebounds and then convert. So certainly an adjustment for Archie Miller's squad at the half.
And now Thomas is just going to slow it down a little bit, set up some offense, working against Shulga. Skips into the corner, Jabunji for 3. It's good!
And that's what he does. Jabunji is a shooter. Lights out.
It's his first bucket of the day. And they're going to get Sebastian Thomas on the foul. It's a foul on the floor with 15:26 to play in the second here. This has turned out to be a good game. It's an 18-point lead for VCU that's been whittled down. The students are getting ready for classes to begin. So they're getting their energy out now here at the basketball game. VCU with the basketball to start things off this timeout, off the foul. And Boye kicks it to the corner. Russell gives up the three to the baseline. Trying to no-look pass down low. Is knocked out of bounds by Fuchs of Rhode Island. So 12 on the shot clock for VCU. They'll inbound again from the sideline. Zeb Jackson, nice shake and bake. Shot clock is under 10. Bell into the paint from the logo. Bell spinning, kept his pivot foot over the top of the shorter player, cannot convert.
That was a good look because he has the size advantage over Lawrence, but not able to get it to go.
Thomas assessing, he's cut off by Russell.
You gotta sell it.
Well, he sold it all right.
I mean, he's been getting double teamed all afternoon, and just that little hit right there from Russell makes it a foul.
It's a third foul on Russell, so he'll check out for the moment. Rhode Island's last lead was with 15:20 to play in the first half. They led 11-10. They're down 42-40. They had to climb back from an 18-point deficit. Fuchs lost it.
I think that's a tough pass to make and a tough pass for Fuchs to catch, especially with defense around him right in front of the rim.
Shulga underneath. Shulga cannot not get the angle. And Thomas leaves it down low for Fuchs. The help was there. Tough pass inside. A lot of traffic inside. And VCU forces another turnover. 18 turnovers.
I mean, that's because Thomas threw the ball inside to Fuchs, who caught it on the block, and then dished it to Traore, who was also on the block.
Yep.
Like, there's just not enough space.
Bell for three. He doesn't take many of those. The rebound by VCU. We mentioned how good they are on the offensive end, rebounding-wise. Shulga getting some space. One-on-one. Low post, turnaround jumper, air ball. Fuchs has it stolen away, though. The shot clock does not reset, and Jennings is fouled on the floor. Jabuji called for that foul.
That's good activity by the freshman, and Jennings getting in the game and making something happen immediately. Off the Shulga miss, and Fuchs just not keeping his head on the swivel. Jennings comes up with the steal, gets his team a chance for a second chance opportunity.
Yeah, let me adjust that foul. They called it on Sebastian Thomas, so that's his third foul. I don't see him coming out of the game, though, at this point.
Yeah, he's only played, what, 2 minutes out of the last 3-4 games, so only not played, I should say.
Before the ball was even inbounded, they're going to get David Green for a foul as Shulga went to the floor. That's his fourth foul. And it's team foul number 6, and they're going to look at this one.
So Green just goes right through the screen, yeah, and then hits Shulga on the back of the head trying to get around the screen, and that is right to be a foul. And again, anytime a player gets hit above the shoulders as well, you want to make sure you're protecting the players on the floor. Green there, just honestly a bit too much physicality. That wasn't necessary.
Yeah, so the officials, you can hear them taking a look at it, an official review. Isaac Barnett will come in. Greg Evans says he's good. It's so good when we have this opportunity to hear what the officials are thinking, what they're reviewing it.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's teaching everyone what they're looking for, why they upgrade something the way that they do.
Right, they're wondering if this is just a common foul. I think they're going to add to that common foul, but we'll see.
There's also the follow through of the arm after the hit.
Right.
It also makes, gives it some concern as well. But again, Shoga also getting hit on the head. We have to keep players safe.
Isaac Barnett's going to come over.
To a flagrant 1 personal foul. White, the black 11 will shoot 2 shots. Ball will be placed at the end line with 20 seconds.
Awesome. Thank you, Bill. We appreciate that. Bill Covington letting us know they've upgraded it to a flagrant 1. And I do think that they needed to do that, upgrade it to a flagrant 1, which means 4 fouls on Green.
Yeah, I mean, there was clear unnecessary contact. And Green already had 2 fouls in the first half. So he has spent the majority of the game in foul trouble.
Well, Shoga is going to can the first free throw. He'll get a second one. We've got cutouts of Tom Brady. Second shot is good. One of the Super Mario brothers, Luigi, is out there as well. The fans, they were half holding them up, half pulling them down. And now the ball for VCU. Zeb Jackson off the glass. Count the bucket. That was a beautiful drive.
Just a nice one-on-one take from Jackson, under control.
46-40, VCU on top. 13:20 to play. VCU a half game behind George Mason for the top spot in the Atlantic 10. Thomas, shot clock is at 10. There's that double team on Thomas. He'll take a 3. It's good. What a catch and shoot by Jamarcus Lawrence.
And that's how you beat the double team. Get it out of Thomas's hands, quickly reverse the ball, and then knock it down.
Yeah, Lawrence has been battling a sore ankle. He sustained that injury in the Loyola game. They were going to shut him down in that Loyola game. 12 minutes left. They needed players. So he went over to the coach and said, listen, my ankles bother me, but I can play. And he played the last 12 minutes of the game. Zeb Jackson lost control, tries to throw it off. Somebody gets it into his teammates' hands with a shot clock violation. Van Boye did get it, but I don't think he realized what the time was on the shot clock.
Oh, but great defense from URI, just being disruptive, getting deflections, mucking it up, making it look ugly.
12 and a half to play. The inbounds to Thomas, and it wasn't a great pass. He had already run past that spot, and it's off his hands out of bounds. That's 19 turnovers for Rhode Island.
Now, when a team is being pressed, it's so easy to talk about how the guards that are trying to receive the basketball need to be composed, but so does the passer, the inbounder. They also have to be composed in knowing where and how to deliver an on-time, on-target pass so you don't turn it over.
Archie Miller is asking Jamarcus Lawrence, where were you passing that ball? Shoga will inbound to Bamisile. Lawrence is on him. Bamisile, quick pass to Bell into the paint. Bell kept his pivot foot. Shoga for 3. Yes, up top.
And there wasn't even a contest from House on that shot. So for Max Shoga, that's a layup.
He has 9. Tough shooting. That ball going right on out of bounds. That's 2 errant entry passes for Rhode Island.
Again, back-to-back times it's been House on the inbounding. And this pass really was just too low of a bounce pass. It didn't go directly to Lawrence.
It's 20 turnovers. Bamisile for 3. No good. Shoga with the rebound. Another offensive rebound for VCU. Again, they're number 1 in the Atlantic 10 in that category. Bamisile, separation. Little arm bar, swings it to the corner for Clark. Clark, step back jumper. It's good. Sweet shot. It's 51-43.
Yeah, that was smooth from Clark. Off the behind the back. Got a little separation in the mid-range. And for VCU, it's good that they are capitalizing off of causing and wreaking so much havoc. That was nearly a turnover.
Yes. 11:31 to play. some of the placards you got to shoot into. I don't know if that would distract me. Sandler would make me laugh. I don't think he would really distract me at all if I was shooting into him.
I agree.
Basketball will be inbounded on the sideline. Taylor's everywhere. Blugie will inbound the basketball on the sideline. Bamisile covers up the inbounds. They got to get Thomas going too. He's been quiet in the second half. Brown has it stripped away by Shulga. Saved on the baseline, out of bounds. It'll be VCU ball. 21 turnovers for Rhode Island.
And when you're on the floor and your team is not getting a shot up every time down the floor, it just makes it really tough to establish a rhythm, even defensively, because you can't establish one offensively. It's just been very choppy for URI.
Shulga brought the defense down, gave it up to Bell. Bamisile under the basket. Bamisile with the finish.
Man, he is tough in the paint, isn't he?
It's the stop and go, and then his speed at the ends.
Yeah, very explosive. You talked about him putting on some weight and some muscle. Another turnover. How about the defense from Jennings on the ball, guarding Thomas? Watch Jennings here, the freshman, just getting a little hand, getting a deflection. Thomas tried to save it.
That's where he touched it last. He didn't agree right away with the official, and then as he went down the floor, he did nod yes. Archie Miller's telling his team, you got to be smart. Got to be smart.
And it might also be just advancing the ball earlier, like getting the ball up the court into the half court and then playing from there. You don't want to waste turnovers, especially just bringing the basketball up.
Maybe less dribbling.
I think so.
Here's Shulga in the paint to the corner for Bamisile. Bamisile the free throw line to the logo. Bamisile can get the finish. I almost said he couldn't get the finish.
Man, that was tough. A step through move, squared his body up. Nice athletic finish.
It is a 9-0 run over the last 2 minutes for VCU. And a foul. And that'll send Traore to the free throw line.
Watch Bamisile here just work his way into the logo area. Little step through and then floated it up over the defender. A tough basket, great footwork as well.
20 points for Bamisile. It's his 8th 20-point game of the year, as Traore missed the free throw. Tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network, join We Need to Talk as they break down everything from the start of this year's CBS golf coverage to a brand new league coming to the hardwood. Traore's second shot, much different than the first, a little more touch on that. And it's an 11-point game with 10:15 to play, second half. Shulga to Jennings. Back to Shulga, a little more harassing defense by Rhode Island. Shulga to the corner. Bell for three, no good. Blugie brings it right to the ball, right to the rim, and he has it blocked away out of bounds.
I'm not sure why he didn't pass that ball ahead. It seemed like it was a clear opportunity for his teammate to catch the ball ahead. It was Fuchs that was running ahead, but I mean, instead he went 1 against 2 and got a shot blocked. Got to be unselfish there.
The thing about Jabunji is that he is extremely athletic, but you're right, Fuchs was right there.
And Fuchs was also pointing for the alley,
right.
So he was expecting it.
So Jabunji will check out. Lawrence catch and shoot three. He's fouled going for three. Russell fouls him. That'll be Russell's 4th foul. He hasn't played much in the second half either.
Yeah, no, and here just coming off the screen. And his right foot is in the landing area of Lawrence. Well, that's a foul. Again, discipline. You know, when you play a pressure defense up in your face, you also need to be disciplined to not put teams on the line. And for URI, I mean, they've struggled to score. So right now, they would like to be put on the line, I think, a little bit more.
Lawrence makes his first one. He'll get 2 more. After this one, Russell check out. Jennings will come in. He missed the second one. shot number 3 for Lawrence. There's Jennings, just checked back in. And he makes that one. He has 4 points, 9-point game. Again, we had all kinds of ebbs and flows. 2 big runs in the first half for both teams. VCU's clamped down its defense even more in the second half. Bamisile up top to Jackson. Jackson launches the 3. No good. Rebound tipped around. And into the hands of Rhode Island and Jaden House. House up front to Sebastian Thomas. Thomas off the high screen. Tried the crossover, leaves it up top for Traore. And he has it knocked away. Jackson with the steal. Corner, Clark for 3, too strong. Rebound by Jennings, shot no good. He's fouled going up by Sebastian Thomas.
Tell you what, Jennings has played some really nice minutes here in the second half. Just been a spark off the bench and doing the little things, getting a steal, offensive rebounds, but URI just cannot take care of the basketball tonight. And I mean, they had a game, their last game versus Davidson was down to the wire. So momentum on one side, yes, but on the other side, it just could be emotional fatigue.
Jennings converts. That's 4 on Thomas. We mentioned he doesn't sit that much, and he's going off now.
Well, I'm wondering if without Thomas on the ball, if URI will get better looks offensively, because maybe VCU won't double the basketball every single time with a pick and roll game. They want to get the ball out of his hands, right? He's not on the floor. Right. There might be some better looks for Rhode Island. Yeah,
Archie Miller did talk about that. He did discuss the fact that somebody else would have to step up. That shot no good, but Green's there to clean it up.
And Green is playing with 4.
Yeah, I guess at one point you got to throw somebody out there that has 4 fouls. Out of bounds. It'll be Rhode Island ball. It's an 8-point game, 56-48. And Shulga will check in for Jackson.
A good run here for Rhode Island. Good job by House just to get his hands on the basketball and force the turnover.
Inbounds to Lawrence, has it deflected by Shulga, picked up out of the air by Estevez, knocked out of bounds by Shulga. Boy, he has really improved defensively.
Yeah, he has, but here's the other thing for URI. I don't like that they're trying to inbound the basketball and catch it under the other team's basket. Like, I mean, that's the most dangerous place to try and inbound the basketball.
Yeah, what did coaches say when we were younger? That's an extra defender?
Yes. The equivalent to like the coffin corner, but you're in the paint. If the other team gets a steal, all they got to do is go up.
Ball's knocked out of bounds again. It will be Rhode Island ball again. 23 on the shot clock. Estevez will trigger the inbound. Gets it to Lawrence, who's fouled by Bamisile. And a technical foul called on Archie Miller from across the courts.
I was going to say, I think the ref was almost waiting on that one. Archie has definitely been very animated on the sideline. And you're right, immediately from across the court.
Immediately.
That was called. So Bamisile here commits the foul. You can see Archie in the left corner of your screen. Still not happy about it.
Well, if you know Archie Miller, and you know the Miller brothers, you want to talk about competitive guys, not only when they played, but as coaches too. Both are excellent basketball coaches. As Shulga missed the first free throw, he's still red hot. Second shot is good. And it will be VCU basketball, or should be Rhode Island basketball off that technical. Team fouls for URI, 57-48. Eventually they do get it in to House. Thomas is on the bench with 4 fouls. House going to the basket, blocked away and saved on the baseline, but then thrown away. Bamboye saved his own block.
Just active. Anytime someone gets into the paint, he is looking to deter their shot or make a difference. Just his wingspan alone, able to get the block and nearly saved it. I mean, that was a very great effort.
How about Shoga, though, with his hand on the ball before the shot took place?
And this VCU defense certainly comes at you in waves.
The inbounds goes to Lawrence. Lawrence into the paint, to the corner. Three from Estevez, no good. Ball tipped out of bounds, Bamboye. And it will remain Rhode Island basketball. 8:09 to play in the second half. The game doesn't have the same flow that the first half had. The second half doesn't have the same flow as the first half. The inbounds to House, he just threw it right out of bounds. I think Fuchs blocked his vision to see where Lawrence was.
And I think he thought Lawrence was going to move a little bit more up the wing, and instead he flared because of where the defense went. It's a costly turnover.
23 turnovers for Rhode Island, but still in the game. Or I should say 24. The ball pinballs around, and Zeb Jackson converts.
He is such a great driver. I mean, really has a knack for when he sees a driving lane, he attacks it.
And Green off the glass, too strong, tipped it around. Shoga pulls it off the floor. Shoga leaves it for Jennings, back to Shoga. Thought about a long-range three, instead puts it on the deck, runs to the basket, count the bucket. The lead is 13. Remarkable to see what he's done this year. He's got 5 games where he has nailed the game winner for Rhode Island. Now, he has been held to 0 shots in this second half for the Rams. But if there is a guy that they would give the ball to at the end of a game, it would be Sebastian Thomas.
Oh, he certainly has the clutch gene. I mean, that fadeaway versus George Mason with
that was
the
incredible.
angle, the degree of difficulty. My goodness. And then even the runner from Davidson, like just his awareness, and he shot that over 2 defenders. But they certainly need him to get active now. When you think back to that run they made at the end of the first half, and he certainly led that, knocking down threes, getting out in transition, and getting to the paint. So they have to find ways for him to be successful.
Shoga off this timeout, finishes the three-point play. Just to cap that story, Sebastian Thomas told everybody that the game winners are a little bit of luck. I would say the other part is just putting in the work, being confident in myself, and wanting to take those shots. That's a key part, wanting to take those shots.
Confidence is everything. It is everything. And the belief to know that you can knock it down, but also that your team is depending on you too. Once you built this kind of resume with making game-winning shots, we all know who the ball is going to.
That high-low from Fuchs to Green goes out of bounds. And by the way, the officials reviewed the foul against Shoga. They called it on Fuchs and not Green. That's why he's in with 4 fouls. And what is going on with all these turnovers?
I was going to say, I think Green just needed to catch the basketball. I thought it was a good look for the high-low.
Jackson to the left corner. Clark for 3. It's good. It rattled around and went down. 65-48. He has 9. It's a 9-0 run to extend this lead to 17. Lawrence to the corner. House into the paint. House's runner doesn't get the bounce. And Bamboye with the rebound for VCU.
And VCU is also on the glass. I mean, like you said earlier, both coaches said that this game was going to be won with the rebounding battle, and it certainly has seemed like VCU has eliminated any of URI's second chance opportunities.
Jennings, left side of the lane. Jennings got the spin off the backboard.
Yeah, he's hooping. Playing with confidence.
The lead is up to 19. It's now the largest lead of the game. Jack Clark is called for the personal foul for VCU as Bamisile is going to go back in. He's in for Zeb Jackson. Thomas will inbound. Fuchs to House to Lawrence. Lawrence left sideline. Boy, he's caught in a real tough spot. Pass up top, stolen away by Shulga. Throws it toward the basket for Bamisile with a kiss off the glass. They have forced 27 turnovers tonight. And Bamisile with 22 points. This is going to sound really strange, but VCU has a 69-48 lead. They have 30 points off 27 Rhode Island turnovers. And in reality, it could be a whole lot worse.
I totally agree. I mean, their defense has just been stifling. They've gotten in passing lanes, got tips, got deflections, and it just hasn't allowed URI to establish any type of rhythm, especially in this second half. And for VCU, I mean, that's the adjustment you want to make, right? If you're on the road, defense must travel. And so you could see that it was clear coming into the second half that they were locked in and intense on the defensive side of the basketball. And how much fun is it, too, when you get 17 steals? Man.
That's a lot of steals.
It's a lot of steals.
And by the way, they've held Sebastian Thomas, which was one of their keys. They've held him to 0 shots in the second half.
Yeah, 0 points would be a different thing, but 0 shots, that's a great defensive game plan executed.
He's trying to find a teammate there with Lawrence. Lawrence can't convert. It's off the front of the rim, and Shulga with the rebound. You think VCU might run a little clock here? Or I guess they'll just wait and see what they have open.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't see why not. Take your time.
Nope. Shulga, step back 3. It's good. Well, when you can convert like that, you might as well just fire it up.
Just a 1-4 flat and let Max Shulga do his thing one-on-one.
Yeah, they've scored that a 2-point field goal, so it's 71-48. And the foul is going to be on Clark. Third foul on Clark. 27 turnovers tonight. Tied for 9th by any team in a game this season, which is, I think, remarkable in its own right that 33 is the high in college basketball this year.
Yeah.
I want to see the hairline on that coach. Fuchs' shot is good. 71-49, 5 minutes to play. And Fuchs makes both free throws to make it a 21-point game. Jennings bringing the ball up. Russell has 4 fouls. So that's why he hasn't played much in the second half. Jennings, the freshman, off the screen, swings it to Shulga. Shulga's come to life offensively in this half. Shot clock at 10, working against Green. Short on that one. So here comes Thomas running the floor. Thomas going against Shulga. Thomas's finish is good.
That is a great drive in transition. He drove down the middle of the lane and was able to finish. He just drove Shulga all the way back as he was coming full force.
Yeah, he has 17. Clark spins it up top for Jennings. Bamisile. Bamisile to the basket. Bamisile with the finish. It pinballs around and goes down. He's got 24.
He makes it look easy.
73-52. 4 minutes to play in the second half. Lawrence to the logo. Lawrence gives up his dribble. Little traffic jam. House will launch a 3. It's partially blocked. And the ball is tipped around, and VCU comes out of it. One and done a lot of times tonight. VCU has been able to control the boards in some ways. Although offensive rebound-wise, Rhode Island's done a pretty good job in that category. And Bamisile called for the travel. And Darren DeVries has done a really good job in his first year as the head coach of West Virginia. Rhode Island win by the basketball, down 73-52. Thomas has 2 points in the second half, 17 overall. And he will sidewind his way up the floor. Head right to the basket. Runner is good. Beautiful teardrop. He's got the last 2 buckets. 19 for him. Even though they've kind of held him in check in the second half, he is a really good player.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we talked about all the minutes that he's played recently. That may be a factor, but also I just think VCU's defensive game plan was locked in from the start. They doubled him every time he had the ball and came off a ball screen. They also showed David Green a ton of attention as well. I felt like they did a great job of keeping those two guys in check and making other players beat them, and they were successful.
Yeah, and Archie Miller, the head coach of Rhode Island, he anticipated that would be their objective. Zeb Jackson from the free throw line, and he pointed out today to us at shoot-around that Boye is able to convert after he got the rebound. He pointed out to us that somebody else was going to have to step up and take care of the basketball. And it really hasn't happened consistently.
And that'll be his message, I'm sure, post-game, because now that teams have seen this,
right,
you're going to want to apply a bit more pressure when you play URI until they figure it out.
Jennings called for the foul. So VCU 14-4, best win is against Colorado State. Seton Hall having a tough year. That was the worst loss. Their net rankings at 55. They're going to improve to 5-1 in the conference. We've seen them as an 11 seed, a 12 seed. They are a good team.
Say just as long as you get in.
That's exactly it. Went to the NIT last year. Made it to the quarterfinals. They've had 24 straight winning seasons. Zeb Jackson got his own rebound and was fouled going back up a second time. That will be number 5 on Green. So he'll check out. Traore will check in for him.
Yeah, it's been a tough night for Green, and again, choppy because he just didn't spend a lot of time on the floor consistently. He had 2 fouls in the first half, played for the majority of this second half with 4 fouls.
Yeah, and he's coming off a 22-point performance against Davidson. And he was the focal point at shoot-around today for VCU because of his propensity to make threes in bunches in certain games. Jackson made the second free throw. Under 2 minutes to play. 76-54. 3 from the right wing, no good. Rebound by Zeb Jackson. Arizona State and West Virginia will be streaming on CBS, on the CBS Sports app and CBSSports.com/CBSSN. The tip has been pushed to 9:10 Eastern Time. So you can watch it if we don't finish this one on the app or online, and we'll get you out to it as soon as possible. Thomas goes right to will go to the free throw line for 2 as VCU will start to empty its bench. We'll bring in a couple players that have seen time tonight, including Michael Bell and Fats Billups. Terrence Hill will check in for the first time. Thomas missed the free throw, so they'll bring in 4 players. And Obi Okafor will check in for the first time.
And this is a great win for VCU.
Really good win.
Man, 5 in a row. Rhode Island leads the A-10 in scoring and points per game. So to go on the road and hold them to almost 30 points under their season average.
That's a good point. Lawrence for 3 way downtown, and it spins around and goes down. 1:10 to play. Phillips up top, nearly stolen away by Fuchs. Jennings running the point. Okafor sets the screen. He'll get it back. Okafor tried to finish. He couldn't. Jennings trying to finish. No good. Okafor with the offensive board. He's fouled going up. So he will go to the free throw line. All right, so Okafor will get 2 shots. First free throw is good. And Okafor has his first collegiate points. Joined the team as a walk-on in 2022, redshirted received a scholarship before the start of the 2023 season.
You can also see he's got that knee brace on, so.
Yeah, ACL injury a couple years ago. So the reaction from his teammates, I think, on the bench, they were very excited when he scored his first buckets.
Yeah, that's always very telling,
very
right?
Cool.
End of the game, you're up by double digits, but the whole bench is cheering for someone who doesn't get a lot of time to make something happen and take advantage of his opportunity.
And they will just run the last 20 seconds or so off the clock. 81-57, VCU on top of Rhode Island. 5 in a row for the Rams of VCU. And it's always tough to win on the road, and that's exactly what VCU has done here tonight in Rhode Island. Once again, the final score, it's VCU 81 and Rhode Island 57. A resounding victory for the VCU Rams. They force a ton of turnovers.